This is Mac OS Ken.
Talk of Apple Car revs up, a strong start for iPhone and 5G, and the perpetually pessimistic Mr. Hall. It's Tuesday, the 22nd of December, 2020. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Headspace. Meditation made simple. Get a free 1-month trial at headspace.com/macOSKen. This show is also sponsored by NordVPN. Online security starts with a click. You know what a VPN does. It gives you a secure, encrypted tunnel for your online traffic. So whether you're traveling or just on a network you're not sure is secure, you can surf privately. There's this other cool thing that VPNs do as well, though. Let's say you're in the US and you want to access sites the way you would if you were in the UK. In the list of over 50 countries where NordVPN has servers, pick one in the UK. Then visit the site you want to visit. It'll be like surfing from Blighty, which is a nickname for England, which I know because, as far as the internet knows, I'm from the UK. Trying NordVPN servers both here and abroad, my access has been speedy and easy, but you should try it for yourself at an incredibly low price. Right now, you can get 68% off NordVPN, only $3.71 a month, plus you get an additional month free at nordvpn.com/macOSKen or use coupon MacOSKen. NordVPN comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so take advantage of this deal. Get 68% off NordVPN, only $3.71 a month, plus an additional month free at nordvpn.com/macOSKen or use coupon MacOSKen. And a big thanks to NordVPN for sponsoring today's show. And now, bad poetry. 'Twas the week of Christmas, 2009, and I had decided to take some time. Lazy and slow the holidays would go, as I wrapped presents and schlepped them to and fro. Then all of a sudden in my newsfeed there came talk of a Mac tablet netbook thingy, iPad its eventual name. And plans for a lazy holiday were shot back to my Mac in the newsfeed I got, and now I am having flashbacks, my friend. I'm running out of rhyme, so that is the end. I call that poem Apple Car. I won't say I had planned to coast this week, but I had planned to coast this week. Then Reuters ruined everything. Okay, not really. This won't be like the iPad year. Still, within an hour of the story breaking that Apple plans to roll out a car by 2024, I had received 4 really excited emails from listeners, none of which saying explicitly why they were really excited. Reuters says we should be excited about the battery. Actually, hold on. Apple Insider highlights the Reuters report that says we should be excited about the battery. I'm working from the Apple Insider piece. Here's what they think we know. Apple is working on a passenger car. The battery is going to be amazing. Issues related to COVID-19 may push production into 2025. And Apple may change its mind about producing its own car and develop self-driving systems for other car makers instead. Now, even there is some nuance. According to Apple Insider, it's still unclear how Apple would physically produce the Apple Car, though it's likely that the company will tap a third-party manufacturing partner to build out the vehicles. It honestly really sounds like who they talked to was a battery nerd. According to Reuters sources, according to Apple Insider, the center of Apple's vehicular strategy is a new battery design that could radically cut battery costs and increase the range of the Apple Car. The battery will be based on a monocell design that would allow engineers to bulk up the individual cells in a battery and free up space within a battery pack. That design would mean more active material, which could result in a longer range. Now, as of this writing, I've only heard of one firm responding to the latest Apple Car talk, and the respondent wasn't even the analyst that follows Apple. Philip Elmer DeWitt's Apple 3.0 ran part of a note from Morgan Stanley analyst Adam Jonas. Jonas is head of Morgan Stanley's auto and space research, according to the site. After a short recap of the story, without poetry, I might add, Jonas offered 6 points in reaction. 1. It has long been the auto and tech hardware team's collective working assumption that Apple will one day design and engineer a car. 2. Apple possesses the key ingredients that we believe are critical to be successful in the future auto industry. 3. From a Tesla perspective, we have long felt that tech players like Apple, working with manufacturing partners such as Foxconn, represent far more formidable competition than established legacy OEMs. 4. Large tech firms want access to the auto industry due to its large total addressable market size, as well as the enormous amount of time spent in cars. 5. From our Apple team, they see Project Titan as a long-term project where, similar to other markets like mobile and wearables, Apple can disrupt through vertical integration. And 6. The electric vehicle arms race is still in the early stages, and the battery technology is not mature. You're not mature. Morgan Stanley has an overweight rating on Apple shares. The firm's price target on the shares is $144. Gross. News from Counterpoint Research on Monday that wasn't overly surprising, but will still please Apple investors. The firm issued a release Monday saying that iPhone 12 was the world's top 5G smartphone for the month of October. That is particularly impressive when you remember that it was only on sale for a couple of weeks of October. The second place 5G smartphone for the month of October was iPhone 12 Pro, impressive for the same reason. The iPhone 12 and 12 Pro together captured close to 1/4 of the total 5G smartphone sales in October, according to the firm. The number of also-rans is kind of amazing. By Counterpoint's reckoning, the top 10 5G smartphones accounted for less than 50% of 5G smartphones sold for the month. First place iPhone 12 took 16%, second place 12 Pro took 8%, third place Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra 5G took 4%, the next 4 phones took 3% each, the next 3 took 2%, that is 46% for the top 10, leading me to wonder how many nameless and practically unnoticed 5G phones are out there. It'll also be interesting to see what the November arrival of iPhone 12 mini and iPhone 12 Pro Max do to that list. Check back next month. An interesting / frustrating note from JP Morgan analyst Rod Hall on Monday. Apple Insider had the analyst indicating Apple Mac revenues rose 50% year over year in the third quarter of 2020, as global PC unit shipments increased 18%, driven largely by continued work from home and remote learning trends. Let me say part of that again. Mac revenues rose 50% year over year in the third quarter. This is, of course, bad news because we are, of course, talking about Rod Hall. Hall does think that current strength in PCs will at least partially persist this quarter and maybe next quarter as COVID-19 keeps chasing people inside. But what happens next year? Okay, some people are going to keep upgrading to new Macs thanks to the M1 machines, and one assumes future Apple Silicon Macs. But the middle of 2020, the start of the great hunker down, is when people started buying Macs and iPads in a big way. That is going to set up tough comparisons for the middle of 2021, so, bad. Because Wall Street likes growth, and the growth explosion for Macs this year could make it harder to achieve growth next year. It's worth noting, as Apple Insider does, Goldman Sachs missed on growth for PCs in the consumer space and the business space, and it missed PC market revenue of $62.5 billion by 14%. Something Apple Insider did not note, but I will because it's fun. Mr. Hall has a sell rating on Apple shares. His price target on the shares is $75. Apple shares closed up $1.57 on Monday, ending the day at $128.23. More news in a moment, but first a word from Headspace. Meditation made simple. How much time do you have for a happier you? I'm not coming down on you. I'm seriously asking a question. How much time do you have for a happier you? Maybe you're saying, I've only got 10 minutes or 5 minutes. I've only got 3 minutes. Headspace is there for it. I did a meditation the other day that was shorter than I expected. Looked in the app and it said 3 minutes. I tapped that and it turns out there were a few choices. Same intent, variable times. So even if you've only got 3 minutes, Headspace is there for it. Meditation apps I've used in the past let you dip in and out whenever you like, and yeah, Headspace will let you do that too. But there are also full courses, from basics to creativity to finding your focus to daily meditations for a year's worth of mindfulness. Something to think about as we head into 2021. Headspace is backed by 25 published studies on its benefits, 600,000 5-star reviews, and over 60 million downloads. You deserve to feel happier, and Headspace is meditation made simple. Go to headspace.com/macOSKen. That's headspace.com/macOSKen for a free 1-month trial with access to Headspace's full library of meditations for every situation. This is the best deal offered right now. Head to headspace.com/macOSKen today. And a big thanks to Headspace for sponsoring today's show. A seriously troubling security story. Engadget ran a piece over the weekend saying that the iPhones of 37 journalists, most of whom work for Al Jazeera, were hacked using an iMessage vulnerability that had been present for roughly a year. That's according to findings from Citizen Lab reported by The Guardian. According to the piece, the zero-click attacks left no trace and would have allowed access to passwords, microphone audio, and even snapping photos. The exploit was reportedly part of a software suite from NSO Group. Wikipedia says NSO Group is an Israeli technology firm whose spyware, called Pegasus, enables the remote surveillance of smartphones. And they're saying, don't look at us. According to Engadget, the NSO Group said it was not familiar with Citizen Lab's claims and maintained that it doesn't have access to targets' data. It said that it investigates any instance where there's credible evidence of misuse by customers and that the software is only meant for pursuing criminals. Apple said it couldn't independently verify Citizen Lab's work, but said the attack was highly targeted and that it always urges people to install the latest versions of iOS. Speaking of which, iOS 14 is believed to plug this particular hole. As for NSO's argument that their software is only meant for pursuing criminals, who gets to decide who those are? Engadget says the exact motivations for the hacks aren't clear, but there were 4 operators that appear to have origins in Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, and, in at least 2 cases, acted on the government's behalf. So long as the findings hold, says Engadget, they suggest that some countries are still abusing NSO Group tools to spy on critics and dissidents. Of course, you can just call them criminals and it's cool, right? If you're having trouble connecting your Apple Watch to your Apple TV for Apple Fitness Plus, iDownload Blog says you are not alone. And apparently some people are being greeted with a pairing cancelled error. An Apple support doc on the issue says that may happen if an Apple TV hasn't been properly added to the Home app. The support doc also offers steps to correct the issue, which is, supportive. Here are the steps, as laid out by iDownload blog. Open the Settings app on your Apple TV, choose AirPlay and HomeKit from the root list. If you see a 1 in a red badge next to AirPlay and HomeKit, select Finish Home Setup. Unlock your iPhone and hold it close to your Apple TV. Follow the steps on your Apple TV to add it to the Home app and finish the setup. Now, if you're getting that error message but there is no red badge next to AirPlay and HomeKit, or if you're getting it and there's no option to add your Apple TV to the Home app, iDownload blog says then you'll want to contact Apple support. And finally today, winter, spring, summer, fall. Troll's gonna troll, yo. 9 to 5 Mac says Epic Games and Samsung have teamed up on a box of stuff for internet influencers. They'd apparently like them to use their influence to muckrake against Apple as part of Epic's free Fortnite campaign. This week, says the piece, Epic sent a kit to some influencers with a free Fortnite jacket and a Galaxy Tab S7. That came with a note throwing shade at Apple and Google. Hi there, begins the note. Fortnite was named the Samsung Galaxy Store Game of the Year for 2020. In celebration, we've teamed up with Samsung to send you a special box of #free Fortnite gear. While Fortnite may not currently be available in the App Store or Google Play, you can still get the latest Fortnite updates directly from the Epic Games app on the Galaxy Store. Spread the word. #free Fortnite. Thank you, the Epic Games team. Is that legal? I mean, I'm not saying it's not legal, but is it? Seems shady. Also, I can't wait for this fight to be over. Coming up in a few minutes, it's the return of Tom Merritt and the return of the album side, the Holiday Edition. Classic tunes, stuff on the modern side, plus trips down memory lane. It's like an 8-track player festivus with Daily Tech News Show's Tom Merritt. The show is called In a Few Minutes. Look for that wherever you get podcasts and search Apple Music for Ken Ray. Scroll until you find my profile and listen to the holiday album side. Yesterday on macOS Ken Live, it was mostly Apple Car Talk with a side of Rod Hall. Show's going live again today, 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern. Catch it then at youtube.com/KenRay. You can also catch replays there or subscribe to the audio podcast, macOS Ken Live, wherever you get podcasts. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by NordVPN. Get 68% off NordVPN, only $3.71 a month, plus an additional month free at nordvpn.com/macOSKen. This show is also sponsored by Headspace, meditation made simple. Get a free 1-month trial at headspace.com/macOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. info@macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Cha.